Welcome back to episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. And oh boy, oh me, oh my, we have a ton, I'm just going to say another word, a ton of stuff to talk about. We have the draft. The draft is finally here and it's gone. It's passed. I'm ecstatic about what we picked up. But, first and foremost, it's looking a little different on here. Got a nice little makeover done by this guy. I personally love it. You can see more of us now. Our little names aren't at the bottom left anymore. But so you can find us on Twitter right there. That's simple. And then for Instagram, for me, it's at .prod, and you're fine. You can actually just look up Simply as 10. It'll come up.
It'll come up. Oh yeah.
But on Instagram too, you can find us at the Purple Rain Podcast. That's the Instagram. Find there, go everything. But yeah, we are here. We are back. And how are you feeling on this lovely Monday evening?
Well, Alex, I'm feeling great, feeling fabulous, man. I think that let me get this out of the way. I think it was an amazing draft from the Ravens. After kind of further review, I was kind of leery about it at first. If you didn't see our live stream of round one of the draft, go back and watch it. Specifically, yeah, me too.
I think that
lots of knee-jerk reactions in that episode. But go to about 45. No, it was about an hour and 45 minutes in. I want to say is when Hollywood Brown got traded. Those reactions were just priceless, absolutely priceless. So if you haven't checked out that episode, go check it out. One other housekeeping thing. Some of you may have noticed already, we are now streaming live on Twitter. So not only can you see the Purple Rain podcast on YouTube, but if you're on Twitter, and you're just scrolling around the timeline, you can actually check us out on there too. Yeah. And there's actually about 7 to 10 people watching live on Twitter as we speak. So big shout out to the Twitter crew.
Lit. Thank you.
Oh yeah, big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. This is going to be a new feature that we're going to have from here going forward. So those of you who would like to watch the show on Twitter, you absolutely can. Jor VDB says, is this live or pre-recorded? This is absolutely live, my brother. It's live, yeah. And I don't think I've seen Jord around these parts before, so welcome. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. Speaking of the live chat room, we got to do our due diligence, bringing up the live Rain Gang in here. Let me see.
Indeed.
Let's just kick it off. Simply as 10 says howdy.
Hi.
Howdy, guys.
Hi.
Let's see. K-Dog. Mod K-Dog in the house says, yo, Rain Gang family. How is everybody feeling about the draft? I'm feeling great about it, K-Dog.
Yeah. I mean, contrary to how we looked an hour and 45 minutes into the draft, we were talking about whoever gets Kyle Hamilton is getting a steal. Oh, hey, that was us.
That's us. Hi. Yeah.
We'll get more into it. I love it.
We will. For sure. Jonathan Washington Jr. in the house says, what's up, Rain Gang? What's going on, Jonathan? Appreciate you for coming through. J Prime agrees, says, all in all, I feel like the Ravens had a great draft. Yeah, I feel like they did too, and we're going to talk about that. Dad Bod Killers says, what up? What's going on, man? Appreciate you for coming through. Yolanda in the house. What's going on, Yolanda B? Says, good evening, PRP. Hope everyone is well. We got the April 123 in the house. Says, yo. The Quan, light skinned Zulu, my guy Black Daniels
coming through.
Says Rain Gang, always coming through, supporting. Bryce H, what's going on, man? Jabari Cruz Ellis, my guy, says I love we picked up in the draft. I agree, man. I agree. Definitely a Purple Rain pioneer for sure. Let's see what else we got in here. Lisa, another one, says, hey, Alex and Sutton Def, Tyler Linderbaum was the best pick in the draft. We needed a center. Yeah,
I think we'll get into that. We'll get into all of that. Best picks. I have a favorite pick that I kind of got some flack on. I'll get into that.
We're definitely going to do some draft superlatives, so definitely going to want to make sure you stick around for that. Our guy Dylan Paul, you guys know Dylan Paul was the winner of our giveaway, the Ravens jersey giveaway. What's going on, man? We appreciate you for coming through. Lawrence Trent says, what's up? Taquan Christian in the house. G Money. Gerald Lawson is in the house. What's going on, Gerald? Says, what up, PRP gang? What's up with you, man?
I know one person who's happy about the trade. This man, Gerald, is the leader of the Rashad Bateman fan club. I know he's been riding for him for over a year now, so I know you are happy.
Absolutely. Let's see. Christopher Swain says, what's up, y'all? It's been a while. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, man? It has been a minute. Appreciate you for coming through. J1213, Raven C in the house. What's going on, Raven C?
Raven C.
We got Shino Joe Star. What's going on?
It is a great
night.
Yeah, I love it. 50 people watching already, so thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's time we just gotta get right into it. Let's
just go ahead and dive right into it. So, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my guy Ramey. What's going on, Hoodie Ramey? Yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. The draft is over. It's behind us. And now we have a lot to talk about because there's a lot of new Ravens.
Ooh.
We got a lot of new Ravens.
Well,
yeah.
11 new drafted. I think.
Yeah.
13 to 14, 15 undrafted. Yeah.
Right. So, without any further ado, let's just hop right into this draft class. We're going to basically go through each pick. And we're going to give like our individual grades, what we thought about that pick individually, what we like about it, what we don't like, that sort of thing. And then at the end of it, we're going to give like an overall draft grade for the entire class from the Ravens 2022. Now, we want you guys, whether you're watching live or you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you guys so much for coming through. But whether you're part of the live chat or replay gang, make sure you leave your comments down below and, your questions, anything like that. And let us know how you're feeling about these draft grades. How are you feeling about the draft class overall? So yeah, I'm not going to say any more words. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. If you are on Twitter, one more thing, make sure you go ahead and retweet the latest tweet I just put out. Yeah. We want to reach as many people as we can on Twitter, for sure. Yeah. All right. So, starting with the first pick, the 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Ravens selected safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. At the time when this pick first happened, and you can go back to the live stream, me and Alex are both kind of scratching our heads like...
Dude, that's the problem, because like when you're live,
yeah,
you gotta you gotta speak. If you're just watching the draft by yourself, you don't gotta say anything. You can just keep all your thoughts. Like, we're talking, like, it's hard. It definitely is hard, and we kind of were like, wait, but we need this, we need this, we need this.
Yeah.
Get a safety. We just signed a safety, 5 years, $70 million. But looking back at it now, just hearing everything about him, he even talked about how Eli Apple messed up in the Super Bowl. Like, this kid just turned 21. His knowledge of the game is far and superior. He's versatile. He literally can play anywhere on the field. I love it. I'm just gonna start. I love it. I'll just leave it right there. That's how I feel about it. I love it. Don't know about you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love it too. After kind of further review, because like I said, during the draft, I was kind of like, we have other needs other than safety. Yeah, but admittedly, I wasn't the most well-versed on Kyle Hamilton at the time. I knew a little bit about him. I saw some tapes, some highlights and stuff like that, but nothing really, because before the draft, you got to go through so many players, just kind of learning about them. So you really don't get to do a deep dive on individual ones. But now the beauty of, it being after the draft, we can actually take a step back. Yeah. And take a look at these players and evaluate them and what we think they'll do for the Ravens. So what I liked about Kyle Hamilton is that he's a very quick decision maker, first and foremost. Another thing, he loves to tackle, which is very good. He tackles very well, too. Good form with it, which is something that we needed in our secondary and just on our defense in general, last year. It was a big issue.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I got you. Yeah, keep on going.
Okay. Okay, cool. So another thing I really like about Kyle Hamilton is that his size. He's 6'4", 220. He's not going to be bullied by tight ends over the middle. And God knows, Simply as 10 says it all the time. Tight ends bully us. They bully us.
It's look at Kels last year. Just speaking of tackling, Justin Ellis was trying to tackle him, was running after him. That play lives run free in my head. So hopefully less of those.
Less of that, right? So 6'4", 220. And another thing about his size, he's versatile. He's very, very versatile. Mm-hmm. You can actually, I've heard a lot of people say, like, he can play linebacker, he can play, in coverage and cornerback, he can play safety, that sort of thing. So you can kind of move him all around the defense, which is, we know, that's something that the Ravens love. They love a player that can be put in multiple positions, multiple scenarios and still thrive. And I feel like Kyle Hamilton is that guy. He's going to be able to help out in coverage with our linebackers, guys like Patrick Queen, guys like, Malik Harrison, all those guys that are coming back as well. Bynes, he's going to be able to help those guys in coverage, which is good. I like that. He's a very good box safety, and he rallies to the football. That's something that's very important. Now, another thing that I really do like about his size is that he can win those 50-50 balls. You throw it up, he can go get it. He might very well come down with it because he's not undersized at all by any stretch of the imagination. He's got a big frame. Now, a couple things that I didn't like about Kyle Hamilton, watching tape, even highlights and stuff like that, it can be a little bit inconsistent in coverage and like his decision making and stuff like that. Like I said, he makes very quick decisions. It's not always the right decision though. And I feel like that's something that will come with experience in the NFL, playing professionally. He will gain that. So I'm not too worried about that. Last thing that I didn't like is he does have a little bit of a medical question mark as well. He did suffer a knee injury in 2021 that sidelined him after only 6 games. So that is one thing to look out for. But overall, I'm going to just go ahead and give my grade on this pickup. With the 14th pick, considering that we got him at 14, but he was a top 5 prospect, I'm going to give this pick an A. I'm gonna give it an A. I know it wasn't like the biggest need that we had, but you're talking about the best safety in the draft. Somebody who can turn into one of the best safeties in the league, probably. When you take all things considered, his size, his frame, things like that. But yeah, that's the only other thing that I had a question mark about was his injury history. So what's your overall grade of Kyle Hamilton, simply?
So I'm going to think about it now. Going into the offseason, how many sideline to sideline safeties would you say we had on this team? Just going into the free agency.
I mean, probably like none. Honestly,
And
sideline to sideline.
Now we have 2. We have Marcus Williams, and now we have Kyle Hamilton. And what I love about this most is that I've seen people talk about Mike McDonald's defense, how he will run 3 safeties. So I'm not sure if we do. I think we'll keep Chuck Clark, honestly, unless we trade him, maybe get a vet receiver for him. Not sure what's going on with that. I'm not going to speculate because the sources haven't been the most reliable. I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
So having now 2 solid safeties, I think one above average in Marcus Williams. Now you have Hamilton, you have Clark, who Clark can play in the box too. Mm-hmm. Clark, knows this. Well, not even knows defense. We don't know what this defense is, but seeing that, it's like we're bringing just a different look to defenses now. I mean, offenses. And on his first play for Notre Dame, you know what Kyle Hamilton did? You know what it was? That? It was a pick 6. Ooh. And you know who tipped the pass that he caught?
Who's that?
Jalyn Hayes. You know who Jalyn Hayes plays for? Yeah. I mean,
I forgot he went to Notre Dame.
Exactly, and they were. I mean, he was psyched about it. So I'm looking at that. And I'm looking at what we were lacking, and what we have been lacking is playmakers getting those turnovers. I can't. Yeah. How many turnovers did we have via interception last year? I know Clark had 2 against the Rams. It's very hard to think about.
Yeah, it was slim pickings.
Exactly. So if we can we're bringing in guys now who are proven playmakers, and with Marcus Peters coming back, fully healthy, fingers crossed, more of those turnovers, getting our offense the ball more on shorter field. I love it. I'm going to go with an A as well.
Okay. And our guy King in the house. What's going on, man? Appreciate you for coming through. He agrees, gives it an A grade. Go ahead and drop your grades. Drop your grades for Kyle Hamilton right here, right now in the live chat. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, leave it down below in the comments. And make sure you join us for the next live Purple Rain podcast stream because it's a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun. We go back and forth with you guys. Josh Price in the building says, yo, my guys. What's going on, Josh? Appreciate you for pulling up, showing out, and supporting. Let's see. Our guy Gerald says it's an A. Yolanda says it's an A. Jabari says it's an A. Bryce says it's a solid A. J Prime A. Xavier A plus. Light Skin Zulu A plus. Okay, so
definitely
we're pretty much all in agreement. Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. And I think the Ravens would agree as well, or else they probably wouldn't have picked him at 14. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next draft pickup, which was Tyler Linderbaum, who was selected. Big smoke screen. Yeah.
We weren't going to get a center in the first round, I thought. Wasn't going to happen. We were told
Unless you got 2 draft picks in the first round,
There you go. Exactly.
So it's like a lot of stuff happened leading up to us getting the 25th pick, right? So we traded Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals for the 23rd pick, and then we traded the 23rd pick to the Bills to get the 25th pick and picked up Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, musical chairs that the Ravens were playing on Thursday night with the draft. And me and Alex were just sitting here in shock. Like, we thought we were going to be able to get off stream after the 14th pick, and it did not end up that way. We had to wait.
The Hamilton pick, we're like, okay, well, we're about to wrap it up, and like, wait, whoa, this just happened.
That just happened exactly. Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa, was selected with the 25th pick in the first round. Alex, I want to let you go ahead and go first and give your thoughts on him and give your overall grade. Then I'll go second.
All right, I'm going to start off with a quote from him. All right,
sure.
This is a quote from the man himself, Linderbaum on Lamar Jackson. My job is to protect him. I'm excited to get the opportunity every snap, every down. I'm going to have to bring it. Yeah. That right there sounds like it came from Ryan Jensen himself. another center who I'm in love with. All right,
Mentality.
having to protect him.
Yeah.
I love that. He is great in the passing game. I think that's where we lack is the pass protection sometimes. The
Mm-hmm.
run protection, it's good. I mean, I think it doesn't fail on us, but I look at these playoff games. Lamar's getting sacked. Lamar's running for his life, having to just make these plays. I'm like, we're finally going to have a center who is a center. Like, we're not getting a guy from Bozeman who was playing left guard, who played center in college, putting him back at center. Not getting Makari, who was playing right tackle. We're not having an undrafted free agent like a Skura, like a Makari. We're getting a first round pick.
Yeah.
Thank God. It's like this right here is all we've been asking for. And you know who else I believe went to Iowa? One Marshall Yanda.
Ooh, throwing it back.
Yeah, Marshall Yanda. I love that. And I'm just going to throw it back even more. Linderbaum in high school, he pinned Tristan Wirfs. All pro lineman, plays for the Bucks, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting a mauler. All right. That right there, we're protecting 8. Give me more. Love it.
Yeah, I love it. Twisted Purple Bird loves it as well. Says love the center pickup. Thank you so much for the super chat donation, by the way, Twisted Purple Bird. We appreciate you so much for making it rain here on episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you. But yeah, man, I mean, everything you said was just spot on, 100%. I mean, and I think my guy Josh kind of hits the nail on the head right here. He says we have a center for the next 10 years. We don't have to worry about the O-line, hopefully. A+ from him. Yeah, I mean, stability is what you're looking for in the draft. I feel like you're not looking for, necessarily like a star, unless you're picking in the top 5 to 7 players, After that, it's just kind of like, okay, this guy is really good. He has potential to be really good in the NFL. Tyler Linderbaum happens to be the best center in this draft, just like Kyle Hamilton was the best safety in this draft. So it's very realistic that we can have him going forward for the next at least 6 to 10 years, something like that. So, but what I really liked about Tyler Linderbaum is that first thing was he plays with good pad level, especially for a center who has to focus on snapping the football. The second thing is that snapping the football, he's actually really, really good at, which is something that finally, right? So like snapping the football, Lamar Jackson has had to worry about the football going east, west, north, south, especially because, we play in shotgun a lot. So with this here, this really, really does kind of give you more stability at that spot. Because like I always say on the Purple Rain podcast, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I always say it. Every single offensive play is fully reliant on the center doing his job and doing his job well and consistently. So if he can provide that for the Ravens, that's just invaluable right there. Another thing that I really liked about Tyler Linderbaum, he does get to the second level really well, which is important for a run-heavy offense. He's getting off of the nose tackle for whatever teams still use nose tackles. He's getting off the nose tackle, gets to the second level, to the linebackers, so a guy like Gus Edwards can get that extra 4 or 5 yards. J.K. Dobbins can get out around the edge, Exactly. I can't wait to have those guys back either. Another thing I like, he's a very intelligent center. He understands where and when he needs to help out his teammates. That's important, too, for a center. Right? So a lot of teams nowadays don't use nose tackles specifically, but when you're a center, you have to be able to help out your left guard and your right guard. So I'm talking about Ben Cleveland or Ben Powers and then Kevin Zeitler. Now Zeitler, he's really good. He's consistent. We picked him up. He was probably one of the best, free agent acquisitions we got. Yeah, value-wise last year. So getting a Tyler Linderbaum right there and then having a big behemoth body in Ben Cleveland next to him, I don't think he's going to have any problems helping out those guys, the vet on the right side, and then the young guy who's just extremely talented and like just huge for his size. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. He knows how to help out his guys. And if you watch the tape, you'll see that. And yeah, the only thing that I didn't like about Tyler Linderbaum is he's not as big and strong as we would like to have for a center, but that's something that I feel like can be developed as well. The training regimen for the Ravens is pretty brutal. Hopefully they'll scale it back a little bit this year so we can cut down on those injuries. I think they will. I think they said they would, right? I think they said they would.
They better.
But yeah, he's just a little bit undersized for the position, but I don't see that being a problem come maybe 2 years from now. So overall, I'm going to give that grade. That's an A. That's another A. King says it here. It's another A.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
I do trust. No offense to Makari, but this is the same guy who said it was too loud in a 6,000 packed Bill Stadium.
Yeah.
Linderbaum. I mean, center through and through, and Makari will be our sixth lineman. I mean, I think it's just we got protection everywhere, and if Stanley isn't ready, you can throw Makari at tackle as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's another beautiful thing about us shoring up the offensive line. Patrick Makari, he can be a plug and play guy, all season long.
Or go jumbo, pull him in sick. You never know. We won't be having Patrick Ricard be an extra lineman now.
Right. Yeah. Let me see. Black Daniels says here, building a wall for Lamar immediately elevates his ability to carve defenses up through the air or with his legs. Yeah. I mean, absolutely right there. The main reason why I give this pick an A is because it's Lamar help. Lamar help is...
You can't hate that.
You can't hate that. You literally cannot help. You cannot hate a Lamar help at all, because that's what we need. We need to build an offensive line in front of him to keep him clean in the pocket, because we saw what he could do back in 2019 when he had a clean pocket. Even with those receivers, and we'll get to that in a little bit too. Let me see. So we have over 70 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video. Like this video. While you're in here, just leave a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because that helps us out a ton too. All right, let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying about this. So obvious A. Yeah, I mean, we're all in agreement there too. Love it. Yeah, we're all in agreement there. So let's go ahead and move right along, shall we? So the third draft pick, the third selection that the Ravens made, came in round 2, pick 45, outside linebacker David Ojabo out of Michigan. Now, this one is interesting for a lot of different reasons, and we're going to get into it. Yeah. But, Alex, what was your thoughts on, and we made a video about this too, instantly after it happened, but your collected thoughts on David Ojabo being drafted to the Ravens?
After learning more about Ojabo, I'm kind of biased towards him. Grew up playing soccer, my favorite sport. This could easily be my favorite pick of the draft. The way that he's just been through so much. It's just as a person, it's kind of like a Hollywood story. I know Hollywood's kind of a soft spot for Ravens fans, but the guy gets hurt. He's not gonna be a first round anymore. Gets drafted to the team where, oh my God, his defensive coordinator is now coaching. And where a guy in Odafe Oweh he's been playing with, been known for how long? I mean, it's going to make it easier for him to come back and just have that much of an impact. And I think the best place for him to get drafted was here. Because we have the defensive coordinator who knows how to use him, who knows what he's best at, and who helped make him into a first-round prospect. Who's being mocked, top 16, top 15 in the draft. And I'm not going to say it's going to be an A or A+. I'm going to give it a B+. He's not going to be able to play until, I think, October, maybe November. Don't rush him back. It's not worth it. We've seen that last year. But he does have the traits of a good edge rusher. And if this hits, you have Ojabo. I'm going to call him OVO. I think that's my new nickname for them. I'm going to stick with OVO.
Okay.
We'll have OVO for the next 4 years guaranteed, 3.5. But that's just that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with the B+ right there. I would say I'm gonna give it a solid B. I'll take the plus away.
I'm biased. I was biased this one.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of say that only because what Black Daniel says here. It says lack of immediate impact, and injuries can linger around too. We don't know the whole story with that.
Like Hollywood. The first year.
Exactly. But other than the injury and just the fact that he won't be able to play right away, I also really love this pick for a lot of the reasons that you mentioned. Now, the biggest reason being Mike Macdonald. That's his coach. Man. And like you said, nobody knows this kid, David Ojabo, better than Mike Macdonald does, Yeah. And Mike Macdonald, let's just talk about him for a second. He is, because David Ojabo talked about him in an interview that he had with somebody I was watching earlier. He basically said that Mike Macdonald, he comes in the locker room with a lot of young, exciting, upbeat energy. It's more relatable to the guys, and he says that translates well to the field. And it helped him a lot, and it helped Aiden Hutchinson a lot out as well. Number 2 overall draft pick. So that's what I really like about him. And a couple other things, he has really active hands, always looking to pull an arm off the ball or poke at the ball. He had 5 forced fumbles last year alone.
Another playmaker to get some more turnovers.
Hey, look, you remember
Oweh had 3 fumbles last year.
I was just gonna bring it up.
Okay.
Remember,
Look,
we're here with it. We're here with it, Alex. So Oweh last year, you guys remember the Chiefs game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're up. How many points were we up when they were making that last drive? Remember?
I believe either one or 2 points.
1 or 2 points. Exactly, and they were marching. But they handed the ball off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Odafe Oweh came around the edge, stuck his hand in there, poked it out. Ravens win. You know,
and he recovered it. He recovered it too.
Exactly. Just insane athleticism. Ojabo, I see a lot of the same traits in him as well. When I was watching his tape, he loves to poke at the ball, get an arm off the quarterback so he can kind of drop the ball, that sort of thing. Another thing, he finishes plays. If he sees a quarterback in the pocket, he's not letting you spin out. He's not letting you do this, that, or evade him like a Joe Burrow would do, like some of these other guys, He is finishing these plays. He's finishing his sacks. That's why he had 11 last year. 11 sacks last year at Michigan. Only 3 fewer than one, again, Aiden Hutchinson. And this is, again, David Ojabo was a top 10 prospect. He was a top 10 prospect before the injury.
They were getting all the buzz. Michigan edge rushers were getting all the buzz. I remember that.
Yeah. So, 11 sacks last year, 12 tackles for loss. Yeah.
We're talking about a tackle, depending how many yards it is, and that can just ruin a whole drive for teams.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I think now I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but like having this duo is kind of like, like a Suggs and Doomer, but like we actually have 2 guys that can. Oweh showed a lot the first half of the year when he was fully healthy. Now with Ojabo coming in, who knows what we have? I think we have our edge rushers for the future, and along with Tyus Bowser, who led the team in sacks last year.
Talk about it, yeah.
Are we finally gonna have like that team that's known for getting sacks? Can it happen? 'Cause I missed it.
Jesus Christ, man! Like I said on the live stream last Thursday, man. I don't care who we draft. I just know one thing is for certain: like we do not need to be bottom half in the league in sacks. That's just not. It can't happen. It can't happen. It's not winning football. It never has been. Never will be. I've said that before too. Couple other things. The guy is a little bit inexperienced. He hasn't been playing football all of his life, which is why a lot of people kind of knock him. But the lack of experience does not bother me at all. So, again, he gets his college coach in the NFL, which will definitely help him in the transition, right? And the Ravens have a history of developing defensive players, just overall in general.
Yeah, so you talked about it.
Yeah. So you take lack of experience plus still having production, because like I said, 11 sacks, 12 tackles for loss in 13 games. Lack of experience plus production equals crazy potential in the NFL, So very excited to see what we can get from him. Not really too many things I didn't like. He doesn't have an array of pass rush moves yet. I saw about 2 to 3 that he really likes. He really likes like this inside crossover step. He likes the spin move as well. And
that spin move was lethal. That spin move
was nasty. Yeah.
He got a couple of sacks with that. That definitely was lethal. And depending on the tackles we're playing, could get somebody.
Right. But yeah, those are the things I liked about David Ojabo. All in all, you said you were giving it a B+. I'm going to give it a B. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the live chat. If you're not watching live right now, part of the hashtag replay gang, make sure you put your comments down below. But we have almost 100 people watching live right now. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming through to this episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, hey, maybe hop over to YouTube and retweet. Or you can retweet. Right, exactly. It's just, oh man, it's beautiful. PRP in multiple places now. But yeah, Bryce says B+. Ramel Bryant says A. Okay. Yeah, the spin move. Team Ramey likes that spin. Dapper Dons makes a good point here. It says Oweh was in the same boat too with the lack of experience. Yeah. And that's the thing. Oweh didn't even have the production coming out of college. He had no sacks.
No sacks is his final year at Penn State.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. So super excited. I might give it a B+ just because of that alone.
I think the Mike McDonald, him being a defensive coordinator, bumped me up from a B to a B+. Honestly. Yeah. I just think that's what did it for me.
Let's see. Raven Ron says a C-. C- on that one. Okay. All right. Gerald says, for real, I'm not used to seeing the Ravens D not be able to sack the QB on the regular. Black Daniel says, in the risk versus reward convo, I think there's much more reward than risk. We just have to play his rehab correctly. Yes, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Do not rush him back, right?
And honestly, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back a Justin Houston at this point. I know it's not what will wow you, but I would rather have that than rushing back Ojabo.
I mean, and I have no problem with Justin Houston. Justin Houston's actually played pretty well for us, especially
Could help him out.
Yeah, late in games, like he made like some veteran plays that kind of like swung the pendulum.
He got a sack taken away from him in the Colts game. But
he did. But yeah, I love that you guys are chiming in here in the chat. Make sure if you're not chiming in, put something in the comments, man. Let us know you're here.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. This is a give and take. We're all talking. Me and Alex and the entire Rain Gang as well. And thank all of you guys who are part of the Rain Gang, all the subscribers on YouTube, everybody who follows us on Instagram. We love all you guys' support. We appreciate it as well. We couldn't be anywhere near where we are today without all of you guys. So, yeah. Let's see. Raven Ron says, let Ojabo rest a year. Don't need another Ronnie Stanley type setback. Yeah, agreed. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next prospect. Yeah, the next.
I know this one is actually Christopher Swain's favorite pick. Told me this personally.
Yeah.
It is Travis Jones, defensive tackle out of Connecticut.
Yep.
And I know I was making his video. Do you know how hard it was to find like Connecticut football games online? It's insane. It's literally like I could find like my whole family history before I find like more Connecticut football games. It was so tough. Yeah. But the crazy thing, like the thing that impressed me the most out of him wasn't from a Connecticut football game. It was from the Senior Bowl. When this man took first round pick offensive lineman Cole Strange and mauled him to the ground like it was nothing.
Shout out to the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, Sean McVay and Leslie were they were just laughing at them,
clowning
them. That right there was just this guy. Some people had him mocked number 33, like second round first pick, and I was wondering, I'm like, why hasn't that guy from Connecticut been taken yet? And lo and behold, the Ravens got him. And what I do like about him is he can bring an interior pass rush.
Yes,
you were talking about that. That's why you wanted Jordan Davis.
Yep.
So the fact it's kind of like we're getting the next best thing to him. I love it. We're definitely beefing up that line. I love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, overall draft grade?
I'll go A minus.
A minus?
Okay. I think this one here, people had a mock as a first rounder too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm gonna drop the minus. I'm gonna give it a straight up A. And here's why. I love this pick. I love this pick for the reasons that you just said, too. Like you said, I was really big on Jordan Davis because he could generate interior pressure. Come to find out, Travis Jones can do that as well. He is a beast when it comes to like size and strength. He's a monster. And you can just go and watch some of like his tape. His push-pull instinct, like it's just he's throwing guys on the ground, centers on the ground. Monstar. Exactly. Monstar. He's the newest addition. Travis Jones is the newest addition to the Monstars. And the best part about it, he gets to learn from the Monstars, right? These veterans, Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, like all these guys, he gets to learn from.
I think Williams is still a free agent, though. I think Williams is a free agent.
Is he?
But
okay.
I'll swap that with Michael Pierce.
Michael Pierce. Right. But yeah, he gets to learn from all of these guys. And another thing is that interior pressure is so important because when you can push a quarterback's center into his lap, that immediately brings his eyes down, right? And off of the receivers downfield, and that's important. So
that Senior Bowl clip has been living rent free in my head. I don't think that's so satisfying. Just seeing not for the offensive lineman and not seeing it. Let's say we got linemen that happen to him. I love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the Ravens defense generating interior pressure, all while at the same time, you got Owe on this side and Ojabo on the other side, just flying off the edge. Oh my goodness. Quarterbacks beware. Quarterbacks beware.
Love it.
It's going to be nasty. Only thing that I didn't really like based off of what I saw and what I was reading about him, has a little bit of inconsistency, shedding blockers, doesn't particularly do too well against double teams. Most guys don't, though, so I'm not really too worried about that.
I mean, Calais Campbell was triple team last year against the Dolphins. He took out half the line. I found that video again. I have to pull it up. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Garnett West says it here. Travis Jones can get sacks. I think he had like 4 sacks last year.
And shout out to Garnett, because Garnett actually, this is the past few years, he called getting Bateman. Now he called getting Linderbaum. I
Okay.
thought this man has a crystal ball. Told him it. He has a crystal ball.
Garnett the genie. Shout out
Yeah.
to you, man. Yeah. So overall, like I said, I'm gonna give this pick an A. I see you guys down here. What are you guys saying? Go ahead and drop your grades. Drop your grades for Travis Jones right now. Bryce H says A minus. Okay. Team Ramey says A. I like it. What else you guys saying here? Jabari Cruz Ellis chimes in, says A. He can push the pocket and is powerful and some athleticism. If he played in a team in a better conference like the SEC, Big 12, or Big 10, he would have been a high second round or a late first round. So yeah, I mean, another steal. Another steal. That was the thing about this draft, dude. So the first 4 picks were just absolute steals. Like everybody kind of saw it that
Arguably
way.
all first round talents.
Yeah.
Arguably. I'm not saying they were. Arguably.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Love to see it. Over 100 people watching live right now. Thank you guys
very
so much for
much.
tuning into this
Love
episode of PRP, episode 108 of Purple Rain Podcast. And everybody's saying A in some capacity here. I see some A's, some A minuses, A pluses. Showcase says an EDC we trust. A for Jones, A plus. Yeah, like that.
Cool.
For sure. Let's go ahead and move on to the next selection that the Ravens made in the draft. So this was our first 4th round pick of our 6 4th round picks.
Oh
right?
my God, we're not done with this. We're gonna have so much fun.
Right, exactly. So with the 119th pick in the NFL draft, the Ravens selected Jalyn Armour-Davis, a cornerback out of Alabama. Now,
Wait,
this is
I think it was Daniel Faalele.
Oh,
He was one
I'm
down.
sorry.
He was one down.
I was one down. I was one down.
You're good.
My
You're
bad.
good. You're good. Listen,
Tackle
there's like
Daniel
these,
Faalele.
There's all these 4th round picks. You're good.
There's so many 4th rounders, right? So many 4th rounders. But Daniel Faalele, we're going to get to Jalyn Armour-Davis right after that. But Daniel Faalele, tackle out of Minnesota with the 110th pick. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. That one, I had some mixed emotions about this pick up here.
They were roommates in college.
Oh, really?
They
I did
were
not know
roommates.
that.
Yeah, maybe they can room again. Probably not.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the second like nice little tidbits. Like you had Owen Ojabo, and now you have Faalele and Bateman.
Didn't know that. I mean, I saw he went to Minnesota. I was like, oh, cool. You know, Bateman went to Minnesota. That's cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were roommates, that's totally different level. If you didn't know, now you know. You heard it here first on the Purple Rain Podcast. Make sure you like the video from my guy Simply S10 doing his research. You know what I mean?
I saw it on Twitter. They tweeted it out. I thought it was like, oh, lit.
Hey, man.
Cool.
Hey, man. Twitter is news. Twitter is information.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
It is.
And I didn't know that, so I appreciate it. But I'll go ahead and start with Daniel Faalele. What I liked about him, only 1 sack allowed in 777 snaps. It's kind of lucky, you know, if you think about it. In a senior season, 1 sack allowed in 777 snaps. That's crazy. And another thing I like, he's been pretty injury-free as well. And another thing is that this pickup right here, it adds good depth at the tackle position. You know, he was primarily playing right tackle, I believe, at Minnesota. We just picked up Morgan Moses to play that position. So, you know, just having kind of some insurance just in case Morgan Moses is not working out, maybe goes down with an injury, God forbid. Faalele is there. Knock on wood. Exactly. What I didn't really like about the Daniel Faalele pick is that here's what I do and don't like. It's kind of like I like this, but I don't like this as well. His size. The guy is 6'9". 6'9". Now that can be good. You might think the bigger the better when it comes to football, but for an offensive tackle, being that tall can kind of be detrimental. You look at Alejandro Villanueva. He was like what 6'7", 6'8", something like that.
Yeah.
He had a really hard time with a lot of speed edge rushers. They were able to get right around him because he's too tall.
Garrett.
You know, you get low. And you kind of give him a hook with the arm, you can get around him. You can get around taller guys. You know, that's the only thing that really concerns me with him. Lack the ability to stop a bending edge rusher because they're able to get underneath so easily. So that's the only thing I didn't like. All in all, I'm gonna give this pick a C plus.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a C plus. What did you think about him though?
I definitely agree with you. I mean, it's a developmental pick. What I do like about it is that he's going to be the 3rd choice right tackle if Jawan James, that's the biggest if I'm going to say today, if he even plays for us, plays a snap for us, even in preseason. Yeah. That's my worry. 6'8", 384 or 6'9". I don't know what he's mammoth of a man. And some people were saying they were kind of comparing him to Orlando Brown, but the whole right tackle, left tackle thing. I hope he doesn't get playtime this year because that means something bad happened. But it wouldn't surprise me if maybe he looks really good and maybe we cut ties with Morgan Moses next year. We could have a right tackle for the future. I'm not gonna say anything, but we could have maybe Stanley and Faalele for the next three years.
Yeah.
So I definitely it took a weight off my shoulders, my chest. Don't know what to say because we're actually protecting our quarterback.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And
exactly.
just like I was expecting a lineman, and I'm not gonna hate it. Why would I hate trying to protect him?
Lamar
It's not
helped.
going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Can't be mad at it.
Happen. And this guy played fullback. He scored a touchdown. I love that. They put him in a fullback and he's ran it in. It wouldn't surprise me they bring him in. He does the eligible lineman. He'll go and catch a touchdown. But I'm going to give this a B minus. B minus, C plus. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
He's not going to be a day one starter. And if he is, that means he's either really, really good or something bad happened.
Yeah. Lisa Frankel says Jonathan Ogden was 6'8", 300 plus pounds, and he won a Super Bowl.
Ogden was different.
Yeah, different. He was. Let's see. Lil Seta says A minus. Bryce H says B. Let's see. Spooky J says A. A minus from Lisa. Justin says A.
Ours can gladly go up. This is just right now.
Yeah. Jonathan Washington Jr. says a B plus for that pick. Raven Ron says C plus. We'll start in for Morgan Moses in 2023. I would hope so. Honestly, I would hope so. Yeah. And Black Daniel says they're gonna condition this dude. He's no stranger to the grind. Bro played rugby in Australia.
Nah, that's one sport I would never play. No.
It's definitely a rough, brutal sport for sure. Yeah. So NFL process B plus. Kimberly says A. So we're kind of a little bit all over the place with that one. Like I said, I'm rocking with my C plus on that, and the plus is because it's Lamar help, and I can never be mad at that. But not going to be an instant impact guy, which is not what you're necessarily expecting out of a fourth rounder. But again, the main reason why I give it a C plus is because I'm kind of traumatized from those super tall offensive tackles and what I've seen happen to them.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Now.
So now. Jalyn Armour-Davis, you got a little bit.
Jalyn Armour-Davis, I did, yeah.
Round 4, number 119 overall. I mean, it was gonna happen. Alabama, it was gonna. I mean, we love Bama, and it's funny because we let one Bama corner in Anthony Averett. Hey, we'll bring in another one, and that one was Jalyn Armour-Davis. How do you feel about it?
This is a pickup that I really liked. I can't say I love, but I really liked it. Number one, because, depth at corner is something that we really, really need right now. Past 2 seasons, we've kind of been spread thin, especially later in the season when injuries start to pile up, things like that. I will never forget Devontae Harris getting exposed by Baker Mayfield, who can't even find a football team to play on right now. Just play after play, just going after this guy. So
the Monday night game?
The Monday night game, you got it. Yeah. So we all remember that. Now, what I do like about this kid, he has an aggressive play style. Great for man coverage, press coverage. I don't think that he's going to be getting bullied by anybody. I don't. No. This kid is from Mobile, Alabama, went to Alabama, homegrown kid. Also, he's a heads-up player, too. Heads-up player. Like, he's an opportunist. If he sees the ball in the air, he's going to go after it, And most times, he's coming down with it. I saw his highlights. He actually had a couple picks in his last season. So, I really like that. He's a fast guy as well. Ran a 4.39. 4.39, which is going to be good when you're having to keep up with some of these speedy receivers that are in the league nowadays, So I like those things about him. He also rallies to the football, even against the run game. If he sees a running back with the football, he is not afraid to go right after them, which I love. Him and Kyle Hamilton on the field at the same time, they're going to be flying everywhere around the field, and I love that. A couple things I didn't really like about Jalyn Armour-Davis. He does get a little bit handsy at times, which can lead to pass interference, and we don't want that, of course. Coaches are going to have to coach him up on the where to keep his hands when he's downfield with some of these faster guys, some of these more talented guys, even with bigger frames as well. But yeah, and the last thing I didn't really like too much about Jalyn Armour-Davis, does have an injury history, a little bit of an injury history, a hip and a knee problem, which can, that can kind of hurt us in the long run. Last thing is that he's kind of fairly inexperienced as well, so, those things, everything considered, I would probably give this pickup I'm going to give it a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B minus, and I give it a B minus, B overall because it's depth at the corner position, and we know, like I said again, we've been lacking at corner for a while. In terms of depth, we have stars at corner, but after them, if they go down, it's slim pickings again. So yeah, I would give it a B minus. But what do you think about it?
You kind of took everything that I was gonna say, mainly with the whole injury history and how he is inexperienced. I'm talking about the other corners on this team. I'll name you them: Kevon Seymour, Iman Marshall, Robert Jackson, Kevin Tolliver II. Out of those four, they have no career interceptions. So we had to get corners at some point. And why not go back to the college where we've gotten? I think this is right now our 12th Alabama player selected from them. Why not go back there and get another one? We did that. He definitely. What we did do this draft is we got players who are playmakers and who they do want to catch the ball. They do want to get a pick. Do want to go for it like an Ojabo, go for forced fumbles.
Yeah.
I think they saw last year how the lack of just turnovers and us losing that turnover battle consistently, game by game by game by game, it started to take a toll. So even if he gets 2 interceptions, you don't know when they're going to be. They could come at great times. I'm going to rock with you there. B minus. It's not like he's going to be starting, and he shouldn't be starting. So he can learn from another great Alabama corner, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. And who knows, there are still some corners on the market who we could pick up. So B minus for me.
Okay, yeah. So, we're both in agreement there. B minus from the both of us. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Again, if you're a part of the hashtag replay game, make sure you leave your comments down below on what you think about this pick. Bryce says it's a B pick. Black Daniel says it's a solid C. Kid has an awareness for the ball in the air, doesn't shy away from contact either. Very aggressive in man coverage. Yeah. He can hit. He can hit hard too. And Justin Roberts says it here. He's a thumper. Good feet. Jabari Cruz Ellis gives it a B minus. Shino says C for depth. Lisa says A minus. King B minus. B. So we're kind of around the same grades here. I like that. But yeah, I see a couple people bringing up Iman Marshall in the chat.
Yeah, he's invisible. Do we know what he looks like?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be funny. If if I walk by him, I wouldn't know who he is.
Yeah.
Before we move on, we do have 58 likes and 110 people watching. Can we get some more likes, please?
Yes.
Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to stick around, you can also subscribe too.
Absolutely. And big shout out again to everybody who's watching live on Twitter right now. This is the first episode that we put on Twitter. Hello, you guys. If you haven't already, make sure you retweet the link to the live stream. We want all the Ravens
sound
fans
like if you don't know, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. If you didn't know, now you know. So let's go ahead and get to the next pick. Another 4th round pickup. This one is Charlie Kolar.
Surprise.
Iowa State. Tight end. A tight end. Now this one, drafting tight end is kind of like weird for me because it's like I always think of Mark Andrews. It's like we have Mark Andrews. There's other positions that we can address. But at the same time, you got to look back at, the 2019 season as well when we were using multiple tight ends at the same time. I feel like maybe this is indicative of us trying to do that again. Now,
I think it is.
Charlie Kolar, I'm just going to get right into it. The things that I like about him, the first thing is he has great size. He's 6'6" and 256 pounds. 6'6" is taller than Mark Andrews, is taller than Travis Kelce, is taller than most other guys in the league at the tight end position, for sure. So that tells you right there, he's got a great catch radius. He only had 5 drops in 48 games. He's a safe target for Lamar. Big catch radius, safe target for him. He has good hands and good body control as well. So he can make catches outside of his frame, which is really good. So when you talk about a red zone target, this is your guy. While Mandrews is getting double teamed, this guy is somewhere on the field with a one-on-one matchup. Exactly. He's somewhere on the field with a one-on-one matchup, and he's, if the ball comes his way, he's going to come down with it. Even contested catches as well. 50-50 balls. The guy's 6'6". He's 6'6".
He should be playing power forward.
Exactly. Well, I don't know about power forward at 6'6".
Okay.
You probably got to be at least like 6'8", 6'9", But
yeah.
But yeah,
he shouldn't be playing. He could be playing multiple sports. Oh,
he could definitely.
There goes the theory.
Great athlete. So overall, I would give this pick an A. I'm gonna give it a solid A. I don't feel like we reached for him. I feel like we got him at a good time, and I feel like he can really, really help this club. In a lot of different ways as well. Like you said, Mark Andrews might be getting double and triple teamed this year. So why not throw another tight end out there on the field, and have him catch some passes too. What I didn't like about him, he's not a great pass blocker, and we know when we have pass catchers on the field, whether you're a wide receiver, whether you're a tight end, you're going to have to block because we're a run-heavy offense. And, that's probably the reason why Hollywood Brown requested a trade, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, not a great pass blocker. Maybe he'll develop into being a better one, hopefully. And he has below average to average quickness and speed, So we're really looking at this guy as kind of like a intermediate route. He's going to be putting pressure on linebackers, just like Mark Andrews does. And, that's why I'm going to give this an A. I'm going to give this an A really because I just feel like he perfectly fits the Ravens offense.
I'm going to go with a B+. Mainly because the 6'6". If he can play like that height, unlike some receivers we've seen in the past, not going to name names, they're now longer on the team. I think he can be a great red zone target. And with Miles Boykin leaving, and with now Hollywood leaving, Mark Andrews does have the most touchdowns. And who's after that? Patrick Ricard. So, Lamar's going to maybe have to find himself a new, go-to guy outside of Andrews. And that could be a Bateman, or that could be another tight end now. That could be a Kolar, or we'll talk about likely later. But I'll go with a B+. And I mean, the 23 touchdowns in college, he knows how to find the end zone. I love it. You can't hate that.
Can't hate it. You can't hate that at all.
And with the run blocking, he could always learn that from a guy like Nick Boyle, who is one of the best in the business.
That's true.
I'm not going to be too worried about that.
Yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying. B++. Okay. A-. I like that. A- is from Jabari Cruz Ellis as well. B-, B+ from Bryce. Okay. So we're kind of similar on this as well. It's fair. Like I said, I'm going with a solid A. I'm going with a solid A, especially considering where we got him in the draft. I feel like he could definitely be an impact player. Like you said, no Miles Boykin anymore, no Hollywood Brown. They might be bringing this kid on field early and often, especially to get his sea legs under him blocking. Look for the preseason. He's going to be one of those guys in the preseason where we want to watch him. We want to see what he does. We will be talking about him for sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next pickup here, which is going to be
one of the weirdest picks.
One of the weirder picks for sure. So it was Jordan Stout, a punter out of Penn State. Now, not really too much.
A punter kicker. He can play both.
Oh, can he? I didn't know that.
He kicked a 57-yard field goal for Penn State, longest in their history.
Oh.
Also did a fake punt and threw a dime.
That's nice. I mean, I like this pick because, Sam Cook's not going to be around forever. We know that. We're investing in our future with this pickup here. And Sam Cook, quite frankly, he is not the Sam Cook that he necessarily used to be. He's not kicking the ball as far as he was when he was younger, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I like this pickup. Bring in a Jordan Stout. Have him sit underneath Cook. Kind of learn from him for a little while, and then he can step right in and fill that role. So overall, I'm giving that just because it's insurance for the future. I'm gonna give that pickup an A. People say it's weird, but I'm gonna give it an A.
I hope he's not on the field that much. That means we're punting. I think this pick and then our last pick, our next pick, could be more looking towards the future. But with the cap hits on Nick Boyle and with Sam Cook, depending what they want to do with all these post-June 1st cuts, you don't know who's going to get cut. There could be a receiver, could be a cornerback. I think those are our two biggest needs right now. That gets cut, you never know. I'll give it a B, a solid B. I don't know if it'll see the field this year or next year, but it's the fact he can do both, kick and punt, which is nice. But I don't think he's going to ever be kicking. Sorry, Tucker's here to stay.
He is absolutely. Raven Ron says grade D for dumb. Should have took punter in the 6th round. That's fair. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's investing in the future because, like we said, Sam Cook's not going to be around that much longer. And this guy, according to Simply AS10, he's pretty versatile too. He can punt, he can kick, he can do a little bit of everything when it comes to that. To the football side of football, that is. So yeah, I'm going to give it an A, like I said, because it's investing in the future. And also we can save cap space if we were to cut Sam Cook, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, let's see. go ahead and I see most of you guys are saying A, B, I see C as well. So we're kind of all over the place. We're all over the place with this.
It's a punter.
Yeah.
I'm not too.
It's a punter. It's not.
It's special teams. You know the Ravens love their special teams.
Yeah.
I know John Harbaugh was salivating at the fact we drafted a punter in the 4th round.
Yeah. That's another thing too. You know how much John Harbaugh loves his special teams, especially originating as a special teams coach. So I can understand it. Lunch break hot take is in the building.
What's going
Says
on?
What up?
BHG?
What's going on, boys? Appreciate you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys go ahead and watch their draft review as well. I think they just posted theirs.
Go and get them 1,000 subs. Like right
Yeah.
now.
Subscribe to their channel for sure. Let's see. Black Daniel says they were pushing P. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We only have a couple more. So the next one was going to be Isaiah Likely, another tight end. This guy is out of Coastal Carolina University.
By the way, before you start, have you
ahead.
seen their field?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love it. I didn't know about it until recently. Love their field. So that's just get that.
We're all fans of the different color fields. That's why growing up, Boise State was like my favorite college team, just because they had a blue field and that was different than everybody else. Yeah. Shout out to Coastal Carolina. But Isaiah Likely, tight end. This pick I was not a fan of. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was not a fan, especially considering that we just picked up a tight end 2 picks prior. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just start it off with this. I'm gonna give this pick a D. Okay. And it's just the main thing that I don't like about this. He's not particularly too fast, so I don't know, because one thing that he was doing at Coastal Carolina, he was a pretty good deep threat. He was getting behind defenses and stuff like that. But at the NFL level, I don't see that happening unless you're like a speedster type of guy, and he's not a speedster by any stretch of the imagination. He's also shorter than Mark Andrews, shorter than Charlie Kolar as well. And I feel like we could have got a legit wide receiver here with this pick. We could have went for somebody that was still on the board. Now, the things that I do like about him is that, maybe with some busted coverages, things like that, he seems to be able to, find his way down the field. Like I said, I don't know if it'll translate to the league, but maybe with some busted coverages, he might be able to get deep. That is something that I like. Now, the other thing is he can block well at the second level, too. So that's actually really good for outside runs. If he's lined up on the outside, we have Lamar Jackson with the quarterback option, pulling it out and running up the sidelines. That would be pretty cool, to see him blocking there. And I think that's mainly the reason why they picked this kid up. They want him to block. They want him to be kind of like that, just kind of like that guy in the trenches, the extra guy, be able to chip guys coming off, a TJ Watt maybe, that sort of thing. But yeah, all in all, I'm going to give it a D, mainly because we just got a tight end 2 picks before that, who I think is even better. But what do you think?
So he was actually picked up as a receiver, but he did transition to a tight end. So he used to be a receiver, which is kind of it's intriguing to me. It is very intriguing because I don't know what we're gonna do with him. But what I do like about him is he is big play. He's averaged 15.4 yards per catch, and he caught 27 touchdowns in 4 years. So once again, somebody else who knows how to get into the end zone. And by the way, he fits into this tight end room perfectly. You know why? This dude hurdles people. Jumps over him. I saw that, and I got flashbacks. I'm like, here we go. We're going to have another tight end jumping over guys, probably going to get the ball punched out. But he was catching some of these passes and the yak. He was getting some good yak on some of those passes, which I think we lacking. So with the Mark Andrews, too, I think this guy can become the forgotten tight end, and who knows what he can do. But I'm going to give this one a solid B. Solid B.
A solid B. I just can't, man. I just can't do it. Mark Andrews.
If Kolar wasn't taken, would you have bumped it up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I would have bumped it up.
And I agree. When I saw we got 2 tight ends, I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? Because Josh Oliver is still on this team. I'm like, we have how many tight ends right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
And your boy Boyle's coming back, too.
Yeah, it's a lot of... Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Shino Joestar says Isaiah Likely is an A-. He's a dual threat. He can play tight end and line up on the outside too. Yeah, I mean, I do like that for sure. He can be a mismatch nightmare for a lot of corners. The question is, when will Greg Roman be lining him up on the outside? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
go
I feel like
personnel.
I feel like Greg Roman was salivating at the fact that this guy can come in and be a blocker.
All he wanted was another fullback. We
Yeah.
have 2 fullbacks. We have, 5 tight ends?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so Lunch Break Hot Take says there's talks of converting likely to a wide receiver. That would be interesting to see.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the last 2 here. So next one's going to be Damarion Williams out of Houston, cornerback.
This one.
Cornerback, yeah. What do you think?
This was my favorite one, I think.
Really?
And I put this out there on Twitter, and I really had no reason, no stats to back it up except the meme where it's like the stat watcher and he's all upset, and the guy smiling with he's got that dog in him. That's honestly why. Just watching what he was doing, he's feisty. I love that. Having a feisty corner who just will go up there, he'll break up passes. I love that. In his freshman year against the Oklahoma Sooners, 1-on-1 with CeeDee Lamb, broke up the pass. As a freshman, clean. I was like, wait a minute. I like this. You won't be going against CeeDee Lamb every single time in a game, but it is depth. He won't be a starter. So for that reason only, I'm just going to give it a B.
Yeah.
He's durable. No injury issues unlike Armour-Davis. Those 2 guys, who knows what they're going to do, but it's much better than what we had last year. Hopefully they can be better.
This pick right here for me, my grade for this pick, it depends on how Mike McDonald uses him in the system. I know, based off of what I've seen from him and, his 40 times, stuff like that, he's not the fastest guy. That's the only thing that concerns me. He's not the fastest guy. So I feel like in press man coverage, if Mike McDonald does like to play a lot of that, he has susceptibility of getting burned over the top. That's the one thing that I didn't really like about this pickup. Now, listen, we got this guy in what round was it? We got this guy?
Round 4.
Last 4th round pick. The last 4th round pick, right. So we're not really expecting, anything too crazy out of him coming out of college. But the biggest thing and the reason why I like the pick as well is because it's more depth at corner, which is something that we freaking need. We really freaking need. We cannot afford to lose either Humphrey or Peters again. And then, because after those guys, it's thin. It's thin.
They're calling
very
us
slow.
up next.
Exactly. We'll be at M&T Bank Stadium on Sundays, guarding these receivers. But
yeah, with that. Yeah. Oh man.
So I see you guys. I see a C in here. C, B. Need the cornerback depth. Yeah.
I said, I just see a dog in him. I don't know why, but
I'm gonna go B-. Yeah.
Who knows? But I saw people talk about him being a nickel. I don't know about you. I've been on this train for a while. Arnarius Washington. If I can be the leader of the fan club, I will happily take that. I think he will be our starting nickel come week 1. I'll say that right now.
Okay.
Unless they move Marlon into the slot, but I don't know what they're doing with Marlon either. I hope he stays outside because, well, that's a whole other discussion. Okay. So moving on to the last and final pick.
Real quick. Let me bring up this comment by Spooky J. This geeks me. He said at this point Greg Roman needs to go to fullback rehab. Bro is addicted.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
With all the tight, I'm kind of confused. With all the tight ends and the fullbacks, why you re-sign Ben Mason and then you re-sign Ricard? I don't know.
That's weird. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this last pick that the Ravens made. Their last selection came in the 6th round. A running back out of Missouri, Tyler Badie.
Don't hate it.
I
don't hate it.
Why?
Once again, I'm going to go back. Cap. I believe Justice Hill is gone. And I think he saves Cap by cutting him. But also, he can catch out the backfield. And we haven't seen Dobbins and we haven't seen Edwards. I'm going to go since January 2021. But now we have a guy who can catch out the backfield. And also, why was Tyson Williams not being used? That's right. Ball security. 2 fumbles on 513 carries.
Ooh.
Good running back 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at all. I would have preferred to get a running back with a little bit more size with this pickup. I mean, the guy's only 5'8", 200 pounds, so I don't really see him being able to shed tacklers, things like that. I mean, but as a rotational guy, he'll probably see some time on special teams as well. I don't hate the pick either. I'm gonna go with a C+ for this pick.
I'm right there with you. I'll go for that.
Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Let me see what you guys are saying down here about the Tyler Badie pickup. Says Kimberly says A. Okay, I like that. Lisa, A-. You guys have faith. Okay. Spooky J says A. Bryce says B+ for value. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I understand that. I can understand that. The value, where we got him, is 6th-round pick. Yeah, I can get that. But, yeah, for me, it's going to be a C. Just because I don't see him getting much playing time. You got to think, J.K. Dobbins, right? J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, not to mention Lamar Jackson as well. Like, I just don't really see him getting on the field all that much. So.
I do feel like this guy could be like it could be a 3rd and 5 when he just catches a freaking dump off and gets the first down because he has that speed and he can catch the ball out the backfield. Because we don't know what Gus or J.K. have improved on because we haven't seen them in forever. So we don't. It's hard to say he's bringing something else to the running back room because we don't know what they've improved on.
Right. Now, this is another good point Black Daniels brings up. Says, I see this as a special teams move. Justice Hill release is coming. If he gets in late in the game, that's positive. And I can see that for sure.
This guy could be a gunner. I mean, he's fast. Probably won't be able to tackle him, but can get down there.
Yeah. So, all in all, that wraps up the 22 Ravens draft class. We want to give our final grades on this draft class. We've been going for about an hour now. I think we're going to get into the UDFAs in the next episode. We got plenty of time to talk about it. I know Alex really knows a lot about them. So if you're into that, stick around for that. But overall draft grade for this year, Alex, what do you think?
I've looked at, all these different websites. The only draft class I've seen to get an A+ in some. I'm going to go with the solid A. Outside of a receiver, that would have made it an A+. I really wish we got Pickens, but I'm not mad with Ojabo. And the whole Justin Ross thing, I'll get into that in the next episode, but I am actually happy we passed on him. I understood what was going on with that. But I'm going to go with the solid A. I think we got 4 starters that could possibly be starting. Ojabo won't be day 1, but when he comes back, I think he'll be starting. So, go with the A. Could rise, could fall, but I think it was a great draft.
Okay. For me, I am going to go with a B+. I'm going to go with a B+. I thought it was a very, very good, very, very strong draft. We filled a lot of positions of need. And we actually did draft. We did go best player available. That was kind of some of the speculation going into the draft. Are we going to go BPA? Are we going to get our needs? They went BPA, and I don't have a problem with that because we got a lot of good talent on our roster now that we got over the weekend. So B+, but the only reason I can't give it an A is because we did get weaker at wide receiver. We got weaker at wide receiver, and we did not properly address that in this draft. We went out, we got 2 tight ends, we got a backup running back, but we didn't really get anybody else to go in that wide receiving core. We actually missed on a couple guys. Was it Calvin Austin? We missed on George Pickens. We missed on both of those guys, Steelers. Which hurts, yeah. Yeah,
well, we're not going to talk about the whole wide receiver stuff going on because I definitely feel different about the whole trade once more stuff started coming out.
Right. For sure. And we're going to get into all of that next episode. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Episode 108 of the Purple Rain Podcast. 108 episodes in. That's crazy, isn't it, Alex? That's wild.
It's unreal.
It is. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Before we get out of here, I just want to bring up you guys' draft grades down here. A- from Jabari Cruz Ellis, Bryce H, A-, A- from Yolanda as well. J Prime says a solid A overall from King. A+, A-, C overall draft grade from Raven Ron. Okay. Wow. Interesting. I guess you didn't really like the whole best player available thing. You wanted the needs. I'm not mad at that.
I get it.
Shino Joestar says A for a perfect draft. If the Ravens drafted a wide receiver, it'd have been an A+. Okay. A+.
The one thing I can say about receiver is that in the 4th rounds and on, we don't really use those receivers. So that's the only thing that was keeping me at an A. Because I was thinking B+, A-, but we've seen with Wallace and Prochet and Duvernay in previous years, what do they do their rookie year? Rarely used. So I didn't really hate it.
Mod K Dog says it here. Smash that like button before you get out of here. Smash that like button. Leave a big thumbs up on the video. It was actually a really good stream, guys. We appreciate you guys for coming through. Yolanda says it here. Great stream. Thank you, Yolanda. We appreciate you. Twisted Purple Bird. Thank you so much. Another super chat donation. Making it rain. Episode 108 of PRP. Says Landry on his way. Possibly. Perhaps. I feel like Jarvis Landry's. Oh my gosh. Landry still got, more football left in the tank. I wouldn't mind having him in Baltimore, just as kind of like that veteran presence.
No T.Y. Hilton, please. I saw that. Please, no T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah,
we said really. No last year, and it's even a bigger no now.
Yeah, it's a bigger no for sure. But all right, let's see. Don C says, "Great stream."
Thank you. Don.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dylan says, "Are we still gonna say call God? It will make me sad every time." Yeah, man, we're still gonna be calling God, man, because it's bigger than Hollywood. It's bigger than Hollywood.
Isaiah Likely did it. I don't know if you saw. He does that too.
Who?
So, Isaiah Likely, or tight end.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
He does
Cool.
the same thing. Yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll see him do it in a Ravens uniform. Great stream, guys, by Jonathan Washington Jr. Thank you so much. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out for this episode.
And as always, thank you for coming through to episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, don't forget to stay positive.
Yeah.
And test negative. Don't forget.
Yeah. Don't forget. And never, ever, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 108 of the Purple Rain podcast. We're gonna catch you